What's going on, guys? This is a donation request. This is for Christopher. This is the band STARCASTLE. You ever hear of these guys? STARCASTLE. Wow. Never heard of them. Alright, this is a song called Lady of the Lake. And this whole image that I'm seeing of the video, which you'll see in a minute, is that whole, I don't know, just like getting into like stuff that looks like this and like swords and stuff like that. Like, that's not me. That's not me at all. That's not to say that the music is gonna be like that or anything like that, but all that like fantasy stuff, I'm just not, I'm not into movies or none of that, none of that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's cool. Not trying to judge a book by its cover. It's prog rock. Let's see what's going on with this band. STARCASTLE, an American progressive rock band from Champaign, Illinois, formed in 1969. Group played many shows under their names Pegasus, see all that kind of stuff, yeah, Pegasus and Mad John Fever, before eventually settling on STARCASTLE. They inked their first record deal with Epic Records in '74 and received extensive airplay and frequently played in the St. Louis area. Original lineup include former REO Speedwagon vocalist Terry Luttrell and computing author programmer Herb Schilt. Okay, interesting. Guy actually went on to a real career, sounds like. Computing author and programmer, okay. Released 4 albums on Epic and CBS. Band's debut album, STARCASTLE, sold well, garnering worldwide airplay. It sounds like that's what this song is from, their first album. It's the first track on their first album. Their later albums, Fountains of Light, Citadel, and Reel to Reel, did not sell as well as the first, and they were often criticized for sounding too musically similar to Yes. Okay, so that sounds like that's what we're in for, something like that. They were opening acts for such bands as Jethro Tull, Gentle Giant, Fleetwood Mac, Kansas, Boston, Rush, Journey, and others. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. After several lineup changes, the band went on a 10-year hiatus from 1987. That's pretty cool. They got to open up for all those bands. That's pretty, that's pretty cool. For sure. Yeah, they've got a bunch of members. So this song is off of their first album, which is from 1976. It's prog rock, right? Lady of the Lake. AllMusic gave the album 3 stars out of 5. He commented that the album was a decent enough debut, but also said that later records would show that the band was capable of better. Collins also called, the guy who wrote this, called the album's lead-off track, Lady of the Lake, a wonderfully sprawling song and an epic. And that's what we're listening to. We're going to get to this right now. Let's just get to it. An epic. That's what we're about to hear. Cool. All right, Christopher. He throws all these, like, all these obscure tracks. Some of it, some of it is cool. Some of it is a little bit not for me. But some of it is pretty cool. So, you got to appreciate it. Thank you, Christopher. You got to appreciate it, All right. Let's get to this. STARCASTLE, Lady of the Lake. Let's do it. Bam. Oh, yeah. This sounds like, wow. I mean, yeah, I can pull Rush from this for sure. Yes, okay, sure. It's like kind of softer vocals, reminds me of like Transatlantic or something like that. Who's the vocals from that? They played in different bands. It was Marillion, one of those. I'm not super familiar with them, but you know what I mean? The softer kind of vocals, like lighter. We are rocking. Oh yeah, we're rocking, people. Times they went through this like 4 feel into triplet feel, right? Got Xanadu swells. Yep. Ace Xanadu swells. play, you know? It's cool. It is cool. It's cool. Dig it. Pretty cool. I don't hate it. That's pretty cool. To me, I see potential, and especially this is their lead-off track on their first album. That's actually kind of cool. The things that I was thinking about, and I was maybe trying to figure out how to make it better, I think mostly has to do with like mix and maybe production, stuff like that. Which, you know, I think about those things a lot, right? You know, because once you know how to play and write and things like that, it's like, okay, what else is there, right? It's like, okay, how do you make a great record? Which is not easy, right? It's not easy. Yeah, but you have to think about it. And this is especially a thing, you know, this is where producers are really important. Did they have a producer on this record? What was going on with this? Tommy Vicari? Oh, this guy's worked with all kinds of people. Recording engineer, mixing engineer, record producer, scoring mixer, known for his works with Quincy Jones, Gino Vanelli, Nicholas Brittle, Thomas Newman, Prince, George Duke, and Barbra Streisand. Sound mixer for TV shows and films including 6 Feet Under, The Newsroom, Beyond the Candelabra, Phantom of the Paradise, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Wall-E, and Road to Perdition. Cool. So, I mean, this guy's... Wow, look at this guy. Yeah. Wow. Commissioned by the year's executive producer, Quincy Jones. Won 2 Grammys, 8 Emmys, and 2 Cinema Audio Society Awards. Very cool. Super cool. Wow. Oh, he's 75 now. Cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, super accomplished. So what? This would have been 50 years ago, so he's 25. He's 26, 27 around this time. That's just whatever. That's just math. But... also, it could be budget things. This is this band's first record. You just never know. Those are not that it sounded bad. It didn't sound bad. And maybe also this is the recording that I have because, you know, when I'm doing these, this is not off of like Spotify or anything. I'm pulling these off of literal videos on YouTube that are already on there, right? I mean, Christopher, anybody who's doing donation requests, they're sending me videos like that. Or if they're sending me Spotify stuff, I'm finding that recording on YouTube, right? That way I can post it up here. That's what you're seeing. So it could just be that kind of quality, stuff like that. And I always try and pick out high quality videos, right? Where it's like 1080, you know, at least 720, right? At least 720, right? I try to. Some of these are potato quality, and usually I say that. So it's not like it was bad. It's more just sometimes making different choices can make things better, you know, and make things kind of pop better. I felt like the vocals were a little bit back. Like they could have, because they were high, right? He had kind of like a high, softer voice. I feel like it could have occupied more space. And you guys, if you've seen me before, I like to think if this whole screen is audio, right? And like what you're hearing, right? And you know, you're hearing the kick and the bass right here. Maybe you got a guitar that's over here. Maybe you got a guitar over here. You got the cymbals that are up here. Different things like that. That's how I think about it. Does that make sense? Just like your visual audio, right? Especially for stuff like this, because it's as we said earlier, an epic, right? So like things should be visual for you when you're hearing it, right? Like I feel like the vocals could have had some more shine on it and lived up here, more up here. So have more of that kind of air and shininess, but also be more present. They didn't feel super present to me. They just felt kind of back. Like, you see how I just did that? Because within this sound, there's also the depth or up front, right? They weren't up here. They were like back more, but like kind of back here, you know? And I feel like they could have been more up front, but like higher up. And I feel like that would have made it better. That's my opinion. You know, I've smoked a lot of weed in my life. You know, and also I'm really into music, and that's how, you know, just reading books on production and listening to music with those kinds of ears, you know, that's just where I've come from. This is like what I've done, you know. So there's different mixed things with like that and production things like that I feel like potentially could have brought the recording out more better. But again, nothing's perfect. You don't know the full situation in the full details in these situations. It could have been, listen, we don't have time for that. We don't have the budget for that. This person isn't as committed to making sure that that happens as maybe some other people, and we don't have the money to pay for that person, right? There's all these circumstances that you just don't know. You just don't know, right? So I could be saying this, but this could have been and probably was the best that they could have done at the time. There's like all these factors with music and things like that it's, you know, it's wild. And it makes when something hits and something just, they get that magic in a bottle, it makes it that much more special. And also that much more unfortunate when it's like you hear things that have great potential, but it just didn't get there. Right? This sounds like they have a lot of potential. They all can play. The music sounds interesting, you know, and also just even from the review that we read, this guy from All Music also said that later records would show that the band was capable of better. That's cool, you know, so this isn't even potentially the best that they had done. So, and already you hear that there's potential here. So it's interesting. There's just so much, you know, music is, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not. Even though it seems like it and everybody wants to pick up an instrument and like try and be famous and whatever, you know, that may be less so nowadays than in previous decades. But you know what I mean? Like it's not easy. It's just not easy. I feel like a lot of people here have picked up an instrument and know that. It's not easy. It's hard. And, you know, it's just what it is. So I thought this was pretty cool, actually. And that should also tell you that even though I started the video with, you know, this image of, you know, this elf-looking lady next to a lake with a sword and the water splash and like those kinds of images and stuff, I'm not really into that. I still keep an open mind with the music. I don't, you know, I'm not, because people have said that before, like, oh, you went into this not liking it. And it's like, no. Not really. I'm just making observations. Just making observations, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm not into that stuff, but that doesn't mean I don't like the music, right? I may not like the name of your bands, but the music might be really cool. Or the album cover, but the music might be really cool. All that kind of stuff, right? You gotta have an open mind. So, anyways. I dig it. I thought it was pretty cool, actually. Would I put it back on? Maybe not. Mostly because I have a lot of other music to get to. But I did think it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. This could be somebody's new favorite band on here. You never know. All right, awesome. STARCASTLE. Wow. See, I'm not crazy about that band name either. I kind of like that plus all this like kind of imagery I'm not super into. But the music was cool. Music was pretty cool. All right, awesome. Thank you guys. Catch you in the next video.